On the evening of August 10th, 2025, life in the Sundurga district of Balıkesir, western Turkey, changed in a matter of seconds. A powerful earthquake struck, shaking buildings, sending people running into the streets, and leaving behind a trail of damage, fear, and loss.
Allah'ım sen koru ya Rabbi. Sandık as merkez yıkıldı. As merkez yıkıldı sandık.
According to Turkey's Disaster and Emergency Management Authority, AFAD, the quake measured 6.1 in magnitude and struck at 7:53 p.m. local time. The epicenter was in the Sundurga district, a region known for its quiet rural life, but that evening it became the focus of national attention. The earthquake's depth was shallow, around 11 kilometers, making the shaking more intense for those on the surface. Fivri the tremor was felt not only in Balıkesir province, but also across other western and northwestern cities of Turkey. Residents from nearby towns, and even larger cities, reported feeling the ground sway. Within seconds, streets were filled with people, many holding on to one another, unsure if the worst was over.
Yıkıldı. Allah'ım.
Sundurga in the moments after the quake, fear and confusion were everywhere. People gathered in open spaces away from buildings they feared could collapse. Many spent the night outdoors, either because their homes were damaged or because they were too frightened to go back inside. Rescue teams reported pulling 4 people from beneath collapsed structures. Neighbors worked side by side, clearing debris with their bare hands until professional help arrived. One local man described how he was sitting with his family when the walls began to crack. They barely made it outside before a part of their home came down. The earthquake left parts of Sundurga's infrastructure strained. Streets in some neighborhoods were blocked by fallen debris. Electricity outages were reported shortly after the quake, though many areas saw power restored within hours. Public buildings including schools and government offices were inspected for structural safety. Several roads in rural areas were temporarily closed while authorities cleared debris and checked for cracks or instability. While the damage was not on the scale of Turkey's most devastating quakes, the community was deeply shaken, both physically and emotionally. Sundurga installosida dialid. Sundurga's one-based icon NB5. Emergency services reacted swiftly. AFAD teams, along with local police, fire crews, and health workers, moved in quickly to assess the situation. Search and rescue operations began immediately in the most affected areas. Teams used both machinery and manual tools to reach people trapped under rubble. Medical personnel treated the injured on-site and transferred others to hospitals in Balıkesir city and nearby districts. The government issued public safety announcements, urging residents to avoid entering damaged buildings and to follow official updates. Temporary shelters were set up for those whose homes were unsafe. Food blankets and basic supplies were distributed to families spending the night outdoors. Following the case for people have much feeling bees. According to the evening that it's 7 problems, but these neighborhoods still be home. These are bestest areas reported to the HPR without the collapse of Sundurga forms. The start for addition France from the quake, potential, act as expected for the many of members, and made feel to supply on the majorhood. But this result, that those were have to prayed for locks writing and some of the real for people in the collapse. As the night aftershocks kept people on edge, some were mild, others strong enough to make windows rattle again. Local mosques and community centers opened their doors to shelter families. Volunteers prepared hot meals and provided emotional support to those shaken by the event. Despite the fear, there was also a sense of solidarity. Neighbors checked on elderly residents. Young people helped carry water and supplies, and strangers offered their cars to transport the injured to medical centers. The earthquake in Sundurga was a reminder of how quickly life can change. In less than a minute, homes, memories, and routines were shaken, but it also showed the strength of a community that came together in the face of fear.